is the session Upcoming Talents. So we had a student competition. We had 11 groups who handed in a project. Then we have a committee who has been looking at the project, both at the papers and also looked at what the students have been doing. So Tim was one of them, Michael Weinblum, who you met yesterday, and Dave and Hassan from Chicago Blackhawks and myself. We decided to retain 4 student projects, of which you will hear 3 today. I guess the first ones that were on the program, for what I heard, they have gotten a job with the Green Bay Packers, so maybe that's more important than LINHAC, who knows? So the first group will be students from Linköping. I was going to say, unfortunately, they cannot be here because at the moment they have exams. But it happens that only top students manage to come to LINHAC to a student competition. So one of them actually already finished today's exam. So there will be possibilities to ask questions. However, we do have an uploaded version, so we will run that one.
Hi everyone. Today we'll be presenting an analysis on identifying and analyzing ice hockey match styles based on event data aggregation and K-means clustering. This presentation will be divided into the following 3 parts: background, methodology, and analysis. Ice hockey is a fast-paced and full of quick decisions game, while traditional states like goals only tell us who did well, but they don't really show how the team played or what strategies they used. That's where our research comes in. We looked beyond the basic states and used K-means clustering on the given data to find different play styles across teams. In this project, we started by running K things like shot attempts, puck position, and physical play. These states was up to like radar charts and heat maps, comparing states and looking at where teams took shots of the puck to understand what are the features of each play style. And lastly, we did a simple check on which styles tend to win when they face each other to see if some styles are more effective than others. We adopt a multi-stage analysis. This including data pre-processing, feature engineering, and unsupervised clustering, and then checking how well each style performed against each other. Here's how we did it. We started by sorting the data by game ID and compare game time, and then we used feature engineering to roll event data into team-level indicators that reflect how teams play. For key events like pass entries and we calculate how far the puck was carried using time and location information. Once we had these event level features, we aggregated them by team and game to get a match level summary. We summed up things like total passes, average metrics like expected goals or carry distance, and created efficiency states like pass success rate to better evaluate team performance. To find different game style, we run K-means clustering on 13 features, and finally we picked K equals to 3 for clustering. After that, we look at how these styles perform against each other in real games. For each match, we tagged both teams with their style and scored the results, like 1 for the win, half for draw, and 0 for loss. And then we averaged the results across matchups. This helped us see if some styles tend to have an edge over others. And next are the specific results and analysis.
Okay, let's now look at the main results of our study. By applying K-means clustering to aggregate data from 30 key performance dimensions for the teams, we successfully identified 3 distinct game styles. As you can see from the radar chart, it visually represents the characteristic of the three styles. The first style, which we've named defensive counterattack, represented by the green line, excels in various defensive metrics while being relatively lower in most offensive and position metrics. Despite having the fewest shots, they have the highest average XG score, meaning that every shot is of good quality and condition. The second style is high pressure offensive, the red line. Teams that show these styles are very active offensively, has the most shots and the most pressure. Finally, we have the puck control play style, the blue line. The most significant features of this style are an exceptionally high average carry distance and duration, along with the highest success rate in preventing the opponent from entering the backcourt. These teams tend to dictate the game's tempo through prolonged puck possession. However, we also noted that despite this dominance in possession, their final shot count and expected goals are relatively lower, suggesting potential challenges in converting possession into direct scoring threats. After identifying these styles, we further analyzed their relative effectiveness in actual game situation, specifically focused on their head-to-head win rates. This heat map illustrates the average win rates for different style combinations. The darker the color, the higher the win rate for the style in the row against the style in the column. We can clearly observe several interesting phenomena. First, the defensive counterattack style performs quite robustly overall. It not only effectively suppresses the puck control play, but also holds a slight advantage when facing the high-pressure offensive style. The second, while the high-pressure offensive style also demonstrates strong dominance against puck control play. Finally, we can see that the puck control play style struggles significantly with the other two styles. Given the lower win rates associated with the puck control play style, we wanted to investigate the underlying reasons. We introduced a special analysis to examine where the ice teams playing different styles tend to lose puck possession. This heat map shows the average possession loss distribution for puck control play style. Warmer the colors tending towards red indicate a higher frequency of possession loss in that area. We can clearly see that for puck control play teams, the possession losses are more heavily concentrated in their own defensive zone, and also near the neutral zone, the blue line. So it suggests that these teams might struggle with puck security. The turnovers in these critical areas can directly lead to dangerous counter-attacking opportunities for the opposition, severely threatening their own goal. This partially explains why they might control the puck, but fail to convert it into wins. Next, this is the average possession loss heat map for defensive counterattack teams. In contrast to the puck control play style, we observe that their possession loss occur on either side of the central red line, and crucially, these locations are relatively far from their own goal. Finally, let's look at the heat map for the high-pressure offensive style. For this style, their possession losses are highly concentrated on the opponent's offensive zone and near the opponent's blue line. This clearly reflects their aggressive approach because they frequently engage in high intensity and attempt to quickly move the puck into dangerous areas. Their puck handling might be more rushed, leading to a relatively higher rate of turnovers. However, it's important to note, while this style entails a higher risk of turnovers, the vast majority of these losses occur far from their own goal. Consequently, they don't immediately translate into direct threats on their own net. This demonstrates a tactical trade-off, that is, accepting the risk of losing possession in advanced areas in exchange of sustained offensive pressure and potential scoring opportunities. This pattern also reflects a balance between offensive intensity and the risk management in their puck position. Okay, thank you.
Any questions, Tim?
I found this really interesting. I was curious to see, did you check maybe against an external factor, say like the standings? Like my guess is that the teams that are puck control play, since they are projected not to do well against the other teams, are they at the bottom of the standings? Or did you check?
Yes, first when we get the result, we also get surprised at the lower win rates. But with the data set we get, it's also hard to check the real win or lose rate. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. How many hockey games did you actually see?
How many hockey games?
Did you actually see?
2 or 3.
2 or
hockey
3?
games after. It's just join the competition.
Very impressive paper. If you haven't watched more than 3 ice hockey games, I would say. I'm really impressed by that. But one note about the playing styles. You have included XG, and it correlates very well with winning. And 2 of the 3 styles have very high XG, so I would recommend to exclude that for future. But otherwise, very good.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we also noticed that the XG score is a very good like a strategy to visualizing the rate, but as the limits of the pages, we cannot do more.
Yeah.
So this might be for somebody else, but do teams, can they change their style? Like, can you say, okay, against these guys, we're going to play a puck control style. Against these guys, we're going to play a different style.
Small changes,
Yeah,
for sure, especially in playoffs.
Like,
It doesn't have more for. Historically, they have changed more over and teams during the seasons. Sometimes they play high pressure, and then they go back in the neutral.
Oh yeah, even depending on score, I guess, right?
Yeah, and the opponents as well.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much.